Good morning, Salty Gamers. Today is week 11 of the free to play account. Let's get into it. So, claiming the dailies as usual. Daily rewards on the calendar. Join the raid. Get some more Treya shards. Okay. So, in today's episode, I'm going to go over the foundation of my characters that I use for war in Squad Arena. This is a shout out request, a shout out video for a guy that I was helping through Facebook on one of the sites that I'm on for the game, Ray, who hit the wall and needed a bit of help, and hopefully I've guided him in a good direction that he's getting on. So I'll go through a whole sequence of war from start to finish and explain my thoughts on teams that could help and hints and tips that I picked up from other YouTubers on how to make war as easy as possible. You still get the odd node that will be a pain, but for the most part you clear it early game. That's good because that's your easy income, 600,000 credits a day. So let's get into it. I'll just sim all these challenges. So the goal last week was to get my bounty hunter team up to gear 8. So I'm glad to say that I have achieved it, and I'll show them in action in war first. Not that I use them in war, but I usually test a team that I've built up in war a couple of times, see how I like the feel of it. Even if they lose, it's no biggie, it's just a test. So I'm getting some crit damage mods now, crit chance mods for the bounty hunters. So I'm at a point now with mods where I can... Who's missing mods there? Sorry, it's just set. So I can get rid of any of these mods unless they have a primary as speed, because they're grey. So select all, sell. 161,000 credits, brings me up to 7 million. And then what I'm looking for is anything with speed on it. So that's got speed, so we'll lock that in and out. We can't be too picky with speed. Any speed arrows? No new speed arrows. So we've got all the mods that we need. Early game, sort of, until you get your teams that you're using with decent mods, which you can still change when you get more speed. You can't be as picky with your mods. So this is the bounty hunter team that I've been building up. I've upgraded their abilities quite high now. Level 72 to take our contract up, but gear 8, all gear 8. So I've changed the leader to Zamwessel because her contract is inflict 20 detonators, which is really easy, so we can get the contract payout fairly quick. So I'll go over my farming plan for the future. So we've moved totally onto resistance and first order farming. We've unlocked Dash Rendar from the squad store. I've broke up my categories along the side there to where they farm, to easily show what I'm farming, where I'm farming it. So I'm going to break off the Kylo farm at this stage, because I think by the time I farm all the first order team that we need, and then move on to the resistance we need for Jedi training Rey, it will be ages, because they eat up Cantina energy. So what I've decided to do is I'm starting to focus on Cantina. I'm focusing on Finn, and then I'll move to Chewie, and then Han, and then L3 being the pilot. Hard node farms, we're doing all first order on hard node farms. We're doing Rey, we've been getting Resistance Hero Poe due to the event, we're doing Lando because of the ships. So I'll just show you in here who we're farming. So the 5 characters that we're farming at the moment are as follows: Rey, Phasma from the War, First Order from Cantina, First Order Officer from Cantina, Stormtrooper, General Hux, and Sith Trooper. It might not be the best team First Order, but we'll go with that now. It's also the harder, apart from these two, it's the harder farms. It leaves just First Order TIE Pilot to farm up on a hard node for First Order, which will move on to when we go for the Finalizer and eventually Supreme Leader Kylo, because then we only need to farm the 2 First Order from the Cantina, Kylo, and we're sorted. And then it's just gear, and hopefully by that point the gearing shouldn't be so much of a problem. So we'll just fire on some hard nodes. Now Rey's got 2 hard nodes, and the main one that I focus on is 5D, because it gives her a ship. We need her ship for Radis, so I farm her first. Grab 2 shards of each. Not great, not bad. I'm not putting any gear on anybody, I'm just storing gear up right now. Move on. So we're really lacking on the crystal front at the moment. So to get a free 50 crystals right now, if you go to the online shop, you get your free pack, and that will help there. So you can't really do any more farming on the hard nodes at the moment. So this is the build up teams that will build up for GAC and other journey guide characters here. So we'll move on to them eventually, and that's our credit heist team. Just for info, what I was really looking for was Lando, to use up some fleet energy. So we've unlocked the Millennium Falcon, but I'm going to wait till I go for L3 to bring up the Falcon a few stars. So I think that's a 2-star unlock. So 3 shards and 2 shards. Lando will have hundreds of shards from him, because we're obviously farming a ship on his node, same with Rey. So I do both Rey's nodes each day, but then once I've maxed it out and I've not finished the ship, I'll still finish the ship, and that will give me extra shards for the shard shop. So in 3 we've got Resistance Finn, sorry, not Resistance Hero Finn, just Finn. Big deal Finn. And we get some Cantina tokens. Fire them straight onto First Order Officer. And pick up the shipments whilst we're here. This is a must for anybody to get this gear. guild activity. Nothing really that we're going for in here. Maybe pick up some shards of Paplo, or something like these gear that we'll need every time we've got some. It just saves us farming it. Squad arena, we have nothing to farm in here apart from Akbar, so I'll just pick away at characters that we're going to need in the future, unless we see good gear, and good gear like this we'll pick up, because we need these in the boat, in the tons. We're stuck on 300 shards. For ships, I've moved away from farming geos, etc. I'm farming Ahsoka, which is great because once I clear war I'll get 8 shards of Ahsoka, because we need her for the Radis, and then we've also got Phasma to get. Fleet arena, the same, we're focusing on Ahsoka. We've got Geonosian Soldier to 5 stars, so that's good enough for now, and that should allow us to do the event. Every so often I'll pick away like Geo Spy, but we want like the pilot, and Ahsoka's Starfighter, Resistance Starfighter, anything that stops us needing to farm the nodes, and save our energy there. So there's nothing even in here, not that we've got the credits at the moment, but we'll pick away at gear in here, / getting the Wampa, and then the shard shop is the same. We'll just feed this to start getting the gear, like the keypads, etc. Into the store, just pick up our daily card. So I have an auto clicker. I saved up 30,000 ally tokens, and then just let the auto clicker go through it. Basically leave the mouse down there and it just clicks every second till they're all open. That's the best way to do it, in my opinion, unless you use third party tools, which that's up to yourselves. So we'll do the ships, fleet challenges. So ideally we want to be able to do this one when it comes out. I don't know if I can do this, because the level 78 one is for Zetas. That's the first one for Zetas. Now, brought Gideon, not Gideon, Tarkin up to gear 9 for our squad and war team, so his ship should be pretty decent. This is why we use Geos, because they do a lot of help when it comes to a system. Ahsoka gets extra health when she comes in and clears buffs from the team. And with Mace Windu's ship, the enemy fighters get extra offense if they've got protection. So we want to try and shred that protection off. We can only afford to lose 2 ships. If we lose 2 ships, sorry, we can only afford to lose 1 ship. If we lose another ship, that's a stun. Because we need to 3-star it. Got the stun off, nice. Another reinforcement coming in. Need to last one more turn. Oh. Nah, we're not going to do it. Not enough damage yet. So we'll just sim tier 1. Right, we've done the fleet arena. So we're at 201 at the moment, but we'll bring that down. Hopefully. But I'm not going to cover fleet arena today. If we want that in another video, fire it in the comments and I will showcase the fleet arena next week. We've got a marquee event today as well, so between the marquee event and the war we'll be a bit pushed for time. So we've been bumped up to 915 rank. I was down at 500, so we've got a nice easy squad to showcase this team on. Phoenix. Now you're probably thinking, but you're on 46,000 power. How are you going to beat a 70,000 power? Now I should be able to beat them unless I get a lot of counters. So going through the team. Palpatine's leader ability, level 7. Gear 9, all gear 9. Start with Palpatine. We've got his basic up. Crackling Doom, which gives gives damage for 20% of their max health for each time that each enemy that's shocked, if they're a Jedi or if they're a rebel, they lose 20% of their health each time they take a turn. If they fall into any of the categories. This is his heal ability that I don't use very often. His leader, it gives a lot of potency and health, and then minuses it for Jedi and rebels, so it's an anti-rebel and Jedi team. And then I've also got this to 17 because this is the one that does the AoE stun. We've got Tarkin, so I've not brought him up too much. I've brought his defence up mainly from his Callous Convictions. Ideally I should bring up this a wee bit more and this a wee bit more, but we're doing okay now, so I don't want to waste training mats bringing up things that I'm not going to use. Same with his gear, I could technically take him up to 80, well I can't because I'm not level 80, but I could technically level him up when I'm ready and bring him up to gear 10. So then we've got Royal Guard. Now a lot of people say don't farm Royal Guard, don't worry about Royal Guard. There's one reason only I'm using Royal Guard. It's his unique. So at the start of the encounter, the allied leader is Empire, Royal Guard gains max health. So it's not his unique, it's his second ability. And his unique, sorry. Basically max health and then it doubles. At the end of each turn, we're on 7. So at the end of each turn, another ally took damage that turn. If another ally took damage that turn, all Empire allies recover 6% health. So every time somebody takes damage, they recover 6% health. Imperial Phalanx, which is the one that brings on his taunt, all the team get defence up, they get heal over time for 2 turns, and they also gain health up because they're all Empire, and they also gain Retribution, which is basically a counter attack, and he taunts for 1 turn. The taunt isn't so big a deal, but see if you know an AoE's, if you're going to do if you're going to do an AoE, or you're going to get AoE, or even Dooku, if it's Dooku that you're fighting, you hit Dooku but you've got the taunt up, Dooku tends to stun on his counter attack, so you hit with Mara Jade, Dooku comes in with his stun but he hits Royal Guard instead, so Mara Jade can continue dealing out the damage whilst Royal Guard soaks it. On to Mara Jade then. So I've maxed out Calculated Shot. This is because every time she uses her basic, she'll inflict daze for 2 turns, and if Palpatine's leader, which every time we use her, she's going to be with Palpatine, he assists. This one is another one that we'll get. this move will do double damage to anybody that's shocked and Jedi, and then we'll get this one as well. This helps get the turn meter going for each debuff inflicted for Palpatine, and then eventually we'll also get the Territory War one, because she'll be really useful in the Territory Wars. Vader, main thing to max out on Vader is his Merciless Massacre. One of the first Zetas you should go for, level 84. Basically pulls everybody out of stealth and hits it, you could hit every single person. And that's the team. So, without further delay, let's get into it. Get some snack time from Baby Yoda. Okay, so Mara Jade is modded for speed, so she tends to be the fastest in most encounters. So that means that we can get the shock off straight away. Everybody's shocked. She gets mass assist, mass swarm. If Royal Guard was taunting, Royal Guard would have taken that. Then we use this one to clear off the taunt and get a stun. Then we focus on Hera. Now we should get a full team stun. And now we just go to work. Just start shredding. Debuffs on, turn meter, pull back the turn meter. Just get that retribution up, get the buffs up on them, just in case they do break out of stealth and hit us, then they'll get hit each. And then now Hera's away. Kanan's came out of stealth, so he's getting it first. So they won't hit back on a kick. If the enemy team counters them like that, they won't hit back. But if they attack them themselves, then they'll hit back. So we'll just get the shock on again. We'll hit Zeb. No stun on Zeb. And then stun everybody again. Okay, so this time choppers up. So we've got rid of Hera, so there's no revives. So we'll just take out the wee droid. Get a wee grenade out. Choppers away. Push back all the turn meter. Not even hit Ezra apart from one stun, and he's almost dead. And that's it. So this team is definitely more suited towards going for Rebels, but it works on Bad Batch. If you go first, if they've got a really fast echo, tends not to work. This Jedi team, because Yoda gives them a lot of tenacity, we struggle. We could beat this Separatist team. This might be okay as well. But we're at 776. If we've got time at the end, we'll do another bit. So, move on to War, because this is going to take the long bit, and then we'll finish off on Marquee Event / the Squad Arena if we get a chance. So, this is my team that I usually use, but just for today we're going to test out the Bounty Hunters. So just to show what we're up against, we've got two Bad Batch, Hunter and Echo, we've got Anakin, we've got Rex, and we've got Yoda. So mixed match squads, it's not too bad. A good one to test on. So we'll get select squad, go straight into Credit Heist, Bounty Hunters, and let's see them in action. So nice Bosch Lair goes first, gets grenades out. Get grenades out from Zam. Get the taunt up from Kristanta. We want a stun Hunter. Okay, now we start detonating. We need We need more bombs out. We'll take Hunter out. So Yoda is becoming a pain because of his high tenacity. Okay, this isn't working because of the high tenacity. We'll come back and try that with another team. So we'll just go straight onto this team. So that's the main thing to remember with war. If you're losing, don't just lose your team. Reset. Bring it back. If you bring it back, hit somebody different. So I started off hitting, say, Rex. Next time, hit Anakin first. Hit Yoda first. It might work totally different and it would work in your favour. So who's got Echo's got the best, most turn meter? So we'll stun him, we'll get rid of Yoda. And I should take out Rex. And there you go. What you can also do is make sure you get Vader's dots on them. So between Vader's dots and Palpatine's shock, with the 20% health coming off, it'll tear down their health and it'll kill them, because the dot damage will kill the target as opposed to the claws and the unique that prevents shot killing them. So I'm going to use this team again for this battle because we've got Dooku, so I'm going to try showcase what I mean with Royal Guard. So straight away Royal Guard's turn anyway, so we'll get the taunt up, and then we'll get this ability, and then straight away Dooku goes in for the counter attack stun on Royal Guard. Mace Windu's got his taunt up, so we need to attack Mace. And now I tend to get rid of Dooku because he's the one that stuns. Dooku's out the way. K2 in this instance is will taunt, but ideally we want to get rid of healers, but I'll try and get shock on K2 so he takes some damage. Luminara's out. Mace Windu's just chilling there. Just use basics because we want to keep the cooldowns for the next battle we use them, so we don't want to use up all the cooldowns. So every so often, don't use special abilities, just use basics. There we go. By the time we get to the end of it, I usually have lost maybe some protection. And we've got a full Jedi team, so it looks like we're using this team again. Just fire on this. We'll continue to use this team again. Hopefully we'll get a good run at these bounty hunters with a team. Sometimes, even though you're testing, you can't put them up against bad matchups. Otherwise, they're just going to lose and then there's no point. So we get the dots on. So they've all got, this ability here is all got damage over time. If we do this, he gets more offense, and then this might take out Ahsoka. Not quite. Stun. That's another good thing with Royal Guard, sometimes you don't get the stun off. You could use Royal Guard's basic as long as he's above half health to get the odd stun on as well. So we'll just use basics to clear up. And because there's so much stunning, you tend to not take as much damage. Right, we should be able to use this team, the bounty hunters against this team. So we've got Luminara, we've got the two rebels, which I always forget the names. Nihilus, which we need to watch. We need to take him out fast because he's got an annihilate and a cooldown increase, and we want to take out, and obviously we've got Phasma as well. So change the squad. If you choose the wrong squad, and you maybe had a squad selected for something else and jump in with the wrong squad, just back out. There's no harm. You can back out at any time of the war. You do not lose the team at all, so you're fine there. So yeah, Baze, and this is, I can't check who that is yet because he's starting. So we've got thermal detonators on. Get more out. Thermal detonators on everybody. Kristantin's mainly there to taunt. He's there to take the damage. And we've got the contract up already. So we've just got an ability increase. That's okay. So we'll move on to, so it's Chirrut. But I want to take out, ideally I want to take out Nihilus. So Zam's first basic ability detonates any thermal detonators, the whole stack, not just one, on when she shoots them. So boom. And she gets loads of speed when she does. So we'll just put more detonators down. That's another thing Kristantin does, drops their potency and drops their then gives them shock. So it should be Zam's turn. Take Nihilus out. And there's a good team. Will it get me Chewie? Not unless I star them all up. But I might. They're only gear 8 at the moment. Let's try them against this team. So we've got Kylo. Kylo is an absolute pain when you get him, especially in war early on. So the best way, because of his scarred ability, is to inflict heal immunity or shock. That's the two easiest ways I've found to defeat him, because then he's not getting his heal. Because before I got Palpatine's team up, I had Phoenix, and I literally, you could set Phoenix on auto on Kylo on his own, and he'll just eat it. He would eat all the attacks, because the attacks weren't doing enough damage to get to bypass the health. So make sure we get loads of detonators up. We've got the contract up already. They're hitting hard though, so that's not good. Let's get Kristantin taunting. Right, Zam to take a turn. Who's this team might not take out Kylo. We've got health there. I think we get health every time a detonator goes off. Can't remember. And this one explodes all the detonators as well, so Bosch Leia's second ability, so stun Kylo. No, maybe not. Get shock. Has he got shock? Nope. Keep the health up on Constantin. And Cad Bane comes in with the counter. So I think I can't remember all the kit, but Dengar, I think on his basic he calls people to assist, or he has a chance to get an assist. So now and again, Zam will explode some detonators. Bosch Leia will put some more detonators on. Stanton will punch somebody and put shock on them, or Cad Bane will just shoot them out. So we'll just keep using this team just because it's a new team, so nice to trial it. We've always got the Empire team to back us up. Right, so Luke's basically out of here. Yep. Get detonators on everybody. So Cad Bane definitely needs some help. Okay, he's out, so it's moving on to the Empire team next, because we'll just finish this match off. I'm not fast for backing out. We've got watch the time anyway, so get him out of here. Get a detonator on her and get her out. And yeah, there you go, see the assist on the basic. So Cad Bane I need to work on, get some, they're targeting him quite quickly, so we need to get some defence on him. We need to get his protection up or something. So let's clear our squad out. So I sort of need to increase his mods and see what's what here, because he's lacking. I might need to fire on, take offense off and maybe put some health on him. Maybe do 2 crit chance and 2 health. I've got a trooper team in the wings waiting, just need to gear them up and stuff. Right, so Mando's going to be the biggest threat, because he's got to disintegrate on if he gets his contract up. So just constant shredding of the turn meter. Just, all it is, pin them down. Pin them down so they cannot attack at all. Mando got 1 hit off. He's not going to get another before he's dead. Okay, so we've got a Dark Trooper with a Zeta. When you see Dark Trooper, hit them hard, quick, to get their stacks down. Okay, that's the main goal. So we'll get now hit Dark Trooper. This is just a stunned Kylo because we don't want him taunting him whilst we're bailing on the Dark Trooper. There we go. Mop up. If Dark Trooper hits, he hits like a truck. He hits like 4 or 5 hit times. So you think, oh, I could survive a hit. 9 times out of 10, you'll be surprised. And especially if he's got abilities up, if he's got his offense up, and depending on how on war they mod him. Push back turn meter. Dots. We've not even been broken through protection, we've actually got protection back on Palpatine. I'm just going to use basics. Get cooldowns back. So with Mara Jade's basic, it's 3 attacks. 2 from Mara Jade, 1 from Palpatine. So nice summer credits, what we're on now. So 7.4 mil. Stun. So if you don't stun everybody, attack the one that gets turn meter. Or isn't stunned at least. Then that way you control the battle. We'll take Kylo out quite quick. This is what I mean with shock run, so he's not recovering any health at all on any of these attacks. He gets annihilated. So we'll leave Vader to last, just because we can. Stun him. So this team might be a bit of a pain because it's clone troopers, but if we're faster we can stun them. Clone troopers like to do assists. If we get the stun off, then they're stuck, that's fine. So Ahsoka and Qui-Gon will take damage every turn just for being Jedi. And now that they've got shock, they'll take 40% damage. Fives sacrifice himself. Rex is out. Echo. Now we'll take Qui-Gon. Move on to Ahsoka because she's came out of stun. Just basics. She's stunned again. Just about knowing who's coming out of turn meter. If they can prevent them to attack, you're going to survive, because if you're doing more damage than you're taking, it's a win-win situation. So we're slowly, we've got 5s in one of the Bronzium packs. We're slowly picking up shards here. And we've got a Scarif Pilot, nice. Oh nice finish with Phoenix. So with Phoenix you want to take out Hera. She's the one that will put backup plan on. She puts backup plan on, you take somebody out, then they come back, and it's a pain in the butt. So wreck her first. Then Ezra is a harder hitter, so I like going for Ezra when I can. Keep that turn meter locked down. Wreck Zeb now, because he's bulky and does a lot of debuff damage. So that's another thing to remember there, what I just done. When you put debuffs on them, when Kanan's there, they all take they all get some health. Poor little Kanan left. And that's that. Full clear. And a test of the bounty hunters. And 2 wee shards for Zam. Some shards for Akbar. And Talia, who we don't need. I've actually unlocked Talia because I accidentally farmed her node when I was farming Hera. We'll get some shards for Phasma. Ideally you want to make a bank of this currency so that you can pick up the ships when you can. So, but once we've got Phasma and Resistance Pilot, that's what I'll do. So let's see the credit pool that we're on now. Okay, oh, we've unlocked Scanner Rebel Pathfinder. So a hint for your account. I watched Darth Lockwater's video, check him out on YouTube. He goes into detail a lot about being efficient in the account. The YouTubers I've watched, AP Gains, Arnold, Darth Lockwater, they're all very good. AP Gains and Arnold have done free to play accounts, but they talk about what they've got, not not how they got there. So my intention is to show you, taking you from level 1 to level 85 free to play. The only reason I'm doing free to play, I can't afford to whale. I can't afford to continually put money into the game. I do it on other accounts now and again, but this will show an average person what they can do. Of course you can expedite the process, what I'm doing. If you put money into it, the best value for money is the Hyperdrive bundle, Bosk's ship and crystals. So I'll just jump onto any character. 7.65 million now. So that's half a million credits, just over half a million credits made just from running the Galactic War. So we'll collect these dailies. So it's going to be approximately 50 days until we get to level 85 from the XP. I sat and checked the XP gain. I didn't even realise that we didn't have any abilities powered up on Sunfat. That would help. Yeah, so we have I sat down and worked out all the sort of XP that we gain, roughly per level. So I monitored how much XP I started with on a day, and then after the dailies, and then after all the refreshes, and I've worked it out to be roughly 50 days left before we're level 85. So that will give us an indication of how long it's going to be until we start GAC and have everything unlocked. And we don't need to do war once we get to level 85, we just need to do auto it, and that's like even easier. It makes the day quicker for the dailies anyway. So I'll show just to finish off the dailies. I'll farm B's other node because this gets my light side battles too. So we've almost got our 5 stars already, which isn't too bad for a hard mode. We need 250 shards for each of these. And then we're sitting there. So if we'll just, so what I was talking about with Darth Lockleter, my daughter interrupted me there, was you watch his video, he goes into detail about war, but keeping your account small, because if you unlock everybody and gear up everybody, it all goes to your galactic power. The higher your galactic power, the harder your galactic war. So, I'm at 401,000 galactic power, and I've tried to be as minimal as possible, but I was gearing characters that I wasn't intending to use for a while, so I did bolster my account slightly, more than I should have. You see, I brought Hunter up. Sometimes it's been for events. So as you see, as I'm going down here, I've got a lot of characters that are sitting with hundreds of shards, 85 shards. So because of the guild I'm in, we've got Han Solo unlocked to 6 stars now. Going through, so there you'll see a load of characters that are just sitting at level 1. There's not a single point on them, and then you see loads of characters sitting at activate. So we've got what? It's 5 characters per line, 5, 10, 15, 20, 22 characters to activate. So that just saves me putting gear on them, leveling them accidentally. Eventually I'll activate them, but they're not a focus at the moment. So I've got Grandmaster Yoda's Journey Guide tagged, but I don't really need it. I'm going to flip that over there now to BB-8 because we're concentrating on BB-8 at the moment. So be pigeonholed focused on what you want to achieve with your account. So the first thing I usually do is on the account is what one of these galactic legends do I want to focus on. Jedi Master Luke is the longest, followed by Kenobi, followed by Jabba. These 3 along the bottom are relatively quick, and Lord Vader's relatively long as well. So you check the journey guide and say, right, okay, who do I need? Right, so you want to focus on them. Okay, that's fine. So Raddus is a ship. To get that ship, you need certain ships. So you need to focus on specific ships, which is Lando's Millennium Falcon, Rey's Millennium Falcon, Ahsoka's ship, Resistance Pilot X-Wing, the Ebon Hawk. So it's all ships that you know you're going to have to farm. So knowing that you're getting the Ebon Hawk, you can look down the journey guide and see. So I'm going to get the Ebon Hawk, which is the Old Republic ship. It's run by Cartho Nassi and T3, which are requirements for Jedi Knight Revan. So there's T3. Sorry, Cartho Nassi isn't a requirement for Revan, it's just T3. So, however, because we're gearing up T3, we might as well, on our journey to Legends Race, so once we've got Jedi Training Ray, which we need Finn, BB-8, Chewie, Han, all at 7 stars as well as Rey. Once we've got her, our journey guide is totally clear to build up other teams. I'm going to go for Starkiller because we're unlocking Dash Rendar for a team to go with the smugglers. We've got Kyle Katarn, but we can build up a rebel team. And we've got an Empire team, so we've got Mara Jade. And we could get a Sith team, possibly, or an Old Republic team with Darth Talon. So there's possibilities there. And then we can unlock Starkiller on our road to Rey, so that's a side project. But not our main focus. We've got bounty hunters, so we could get Chewie. We could bring up rebels to get Luke, Commander Luke. We could bring up a Jedi team. Our Empire team could get R2 eventually. So we could get Yoda as well. We could go for Revan. We don't need to go for them straight away, but but it's good to know if you're building teams, because you don't want to be so focused on getting your Galactic Legend that you don't build some teams around your roster. So don't worry about taking some time out, especially if you're just gearing up for relics. So if you look at the Galactic Legends tab again, so maybe focus on like a block at a time with these to get them to where you want them to be. So you get these three requirements, and then these three, maybe even just a team of them, whatever team you've got set up for these characters, and then build up. So we've got a long time to get the Radis. Once we get Radis, that's probably going to be our last one, minus a couple of relic levels. So unless we're really lucky in getting ship drops, once we get the Radis, that will be us ready to go for raid. So if we're only just farming ships and we've got everybody else ready and we don't have anything else basically to build up, we could always pick away at some other teams for the next journey step. So on to the Marquee event. Galactic Bounty, we'll do this first. No, but it's level 80 plus, so probably won't manage it. So we'll just do the Marquee event. This is a new resistance character that's coming to the game, which will benefit us because we're on resistance for Galactic Legends Raid. So I'll just run over the first one because we're sort of running over time as it is. I don't want to go too far over an hour. So she does benefits tanks, smugglers, does a lot of exposes, deals physical damage to does plus 30 damage for each expose on the target, stacking to 300% until the ability is used. If Zori is stealth, inflict healing immunity on the target enemy for 2 turns. If they're exposed on them, and if it defeats the enemy, then you get to expose all of them. So get the exposes up. So this one's a mass swarm. Calls everybody into attack. Obviously this team's hitting extremely hard because it's a Marquee event, so you find on the Marquee events that they'll hit extremely hard. We need to showcase what they're like. Obviously the enemy teams are a lot lower as well. If there are matched teams it won't necessarily go this way, but that's it. So for those that don't know who Zori Bliss is, she's shown on the episode 9. She's on that. She's when C3PO goes and speaks Sith. Now, Marquee events are always worthwhile doing, regardless if you're going to use a character or not. You should roughly get a 3-star unlock, no bother. The legacy tiers if you want to buy some packs for them. But when you do the Marquee event, you get health mods and speed mods most of the time. 5 blues. They might be rubbish, but they might be better than what you've already got, so it's worthwhile having them there. So we might just hit level 78 today and get some more energy. So we'll do one final squad arena push to show you against the Geos to round off the stream or the video. Okay, they're slightly faster than me, but that's okay. So we want to keep Newt Gunray stunned, but we don't want to take him out because then he'll go into stealth. So same as the war, constantly just keep them stunned, so we control the battle. If you control the battle, you control the outcome. So Spy does a lot of damage, but not if you annihilate them with a thermal detonator, I guess. So it's just Newt Gunray, so even if he goes in stealth, it doesn't matter because he's the only character there, so he's putting extortion on, which if you use that it recovers health, but he gets profit, but we're not going to do that. We're just going to wreck him. And another victory for the squadron here. So we want to stay, ideally I like to stay under the 500, under the 1000 mark, because it gives us 400. If I could get to 500, great. When I get down to in the 300s, they're all relict and gear 12s and Zeta'd and stuff, so I struggle, but it is what it is. So hopefully you find that insightful, helpful for war and roster building yourselves. If you want to see more specific stuff on the account, please drop it in the comments, and remember, like, comment and subscribe to the channel please, it really helped me out a lot, and have a good one.